Jordan!
Iain!
Who thought all that work at the gym was paying off, tried to demonstrate it in a televised special by throwing a tank into the sun, severed both arms at the shoulder in the process, and now has a job as a cheerleader, playing the letter I at football matches?
Justin Bieber?
No. Two guys. Let's... I had to stifle my laughs. Hello, and welcome to episode 65 of Two Guys What's Up, the weekly comedy podcast where releasing on a Monday has never seemed so indicative, as today is April Fool's Day, and you are joined by not one, but two of the buggers, one being myself and the other being this guy, Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
I'm not too bad at all, thank you. So far I've survived all the April Fool's Day pranks that has been thrown at me.
Oh yeah? What has your wife done to you?
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't have to be just on this day, really.
She set fire to my bed, replaced my toothpaste with cement.
Oh, God. Oh, that'd be awful.
Not like you wouldn't know, when it came out, because it'd be a different colour.
Well, I mean, she might have mixed it with it.
Oh, that's a fair point, yeah. Giving her ideas. Hope she don't listen to this, mate.
I did wonder why we had that cement mixer on the drive. We're not even having any building work done.
Funneling it into a toothpaste.
Oh, a little syringe.
Oh, God.
That's horrendous. On a happier note, I've had a really nice day. I took a trip with my wife and my parents, and we went to York for a little day of shopping.
Delightful.
And ended it with going to a place called Estabula,
right,
which is a restaurant chain, and it's a Brazilian thing where you basically have a salad bar buffet.
Yeah, don't need that though.
Yeah, no, that's not the best bit. The best bit comes when you have on your table like a little bit of a beer mat, and you have a red side and a green side, and if it's green side showing, waiters will come to you with different cuts of meat for you to just have all you can eat of, essentially. They'll be like, rump steak. Yeah. And then you'll be like, yes, please. And then you've got these tongs and they slice them off and it's amazing. So I had like chicken, gammon, belly pork with a lovely honey sauce.
Delicious.
Umpteen cuts of different beef. Like, you name it and it was there and it was so good. So I am still stuffed 8 hours later.
I can imagine. Do you know what I had for tea today?
Well, let me think. Yesterday, you ended up having chicken and mushroom burgers because you hate the bolognese your wife makes.
Well, the reason that I don't eat tea with my family is not because I just hate the meal and simply refuse to eat with them.
You're a bastard.
I'm not a 5-year-old child. It's because I work until, sort of like after 7, and obviously my children are in bed by that time, so they couldn't wait for me, and I wouldn't expect them to. But yeah, I mean, I do hate bolognese, so I didn't want to eat it. And I hate cold food. I'm not a fan of cold food, and I don't like it reheated.
Okay.
But yeah, I decided to make some chicken burgers with some garlic mushrooms. It wasn't quite, just shitty chicken and garlic burgers. I think I did all right, though. But anyway, back to today's meal.
Yeah, so you had cornflakes, didn't you?
No, I've had f*** all today.
Really?
Yeah, my wife made Chinese curry. But she said, I'll make you some Chinese curry for you coming home from work today so you can have it fresh and you can have it warm. She's really accommodating and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'll need to get some rice though. But because it's Sunday, as of the day's recording, I said I'm going to have to go to a different shop because the one that I'm close to is closed.
Right.
So my wife was like, well, if you're having fried rice with it, why not just go to a takeaway on your way home and get some rice? And I was like, hey, that's a damn good idea. But then my mind started going, fried rice, oh, I'll get some prawn crackers. Or while I'm there, I could just get some fried noodles. Oh, chicken satay skewers. Oh, salt and pepper. I was like, no, I can't.
Suddenly, you don't need that curry.
Yeah, well, what's the thing? I mean, I am still quite hungry. And obviously I came home and now we're straight recording. So I didn't have time to whip anything else up in the meantime. So I'm going to have to try and find some afterwards.
Oh, no.
And I'm moaning a lot, but my wife was obviously very nice. She obviously cooked, but it was my own stupid greed that made me miss a meal.
Right, so if you begin wasting away as we speak, that's why.
It's never going to happen, mate. Have you seen the size of me?
You did have to, jump over those grates on the way home, didn't you?
To jump over my own tits to stop myself from tripping over them.
Oh, God. I've got a weird image in my head.
Let me skipping.
It's erotic.
Yeah.
Love it. So, how are you, Iain?
Hungry, I guess, is the main takeaway from that.
Fair enough.
Don't mention takeaways either, for sake.
But other than that, you're okay?
Grandiose, pal.
Good. I'm pleased to hear it. So, Iain, what have you got for us today?
Well, Jordan, in the spirit of the day, I thought I'd tell you about the bizarre and historical origins of April Fool's Day. At least, reported by one website out there. And I just want to say one thing, and that is that I was made to look quite the fool last night when I was snuggling into bed, all ready to go to sleep, only to receive a text from the sexy bastard on the other end of this phone saying, "So, buddy, what's your April Fool orientated segment going to be about tomorrow?" And I was like,
Oops.
I overlooked the meticulous planning that we regularly undertake when sorting an episode out, and I just wrote some shit about aliens.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
What, me being unprepared and writing about aliens?
Yeah.
Totally unlike me.
Must be some weird alternate universe going on now.
But quickly, I did a little scout around the internet, and I found this tale that got written up in about 10 minutes. So the thing I'm trying to say is I'm sorry if it's shit, but also that you reminding me that we were going to be doing this, Jordan, helped me find a story that I've never read before. So I am happy for that.
Okay, well, I guess you're welcome.
Keep it up, buddy. So helpful.
I will. Could you say that you were quite literally an April Fool?
Yeah.
Nice.
Precisely.
Love it.
But Jordan, we're going to be getting into that a little bit later. So in the meantime, what have you got coming up for us today?
Well, Iain, today on this little shake-up of an episode, I have for you the worst, or maybe best, depends how you look at it, April Fool's jokes that backfired.
People in pain, people getting cement in the toothpaste, that kind of thing. You just tell us about your day.
Yeah, these are all my stories.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about that. So should we just jump into it then, pal?
I think we should.
Let's do this!
Nice. So, kicking off today's best or worst April Fool's jokes that backfired, we have a guy named Jonathan Swift who did an elaborate April Fool's hoax in 1708. This is going back far.
Are you going to do one for every year leading to the current year?
Yeah, I started at 1700 BC, but I thought that's going to be a bit of a long segment.
Yeah, the first 7 was shit. Let's just start at 1708.
Yeah, so this guy, Jonathan Swift, he went under a pseudonym and he made predictions, notably claiming that a famous astrologer whose name was John Partridge, that he would die on March the 29th of a fever.
Hell,
okay.
That's not a joke. Mate, you're going to die. What? How do you know? I'm prophetic. What? Back then, you believe that shit, man.
Exactly. And of course, back then, news didn't really travel very fast.
So they got to him the day after he was supposed to die. So, well.
Little did he know he was right.
Yeah. They just chiseled it into his grave.
Carked it the next day. No, so that was the prediction on the 29th, or the fake prediction, I should say.
Yeah.
Whereas the next day, on the 30th of March, Swift circulated this anonymous account of Partridge's death. And then on April the 1st, someone knocked on Partridge's door himself to set up the funeral arrangements, surprised to see that, of course, Partridge was alive and well.
Yeah.
But get this, for the rest of this guy's life, he had to insist that he wasn't dead. Because, of course, news didn't spread so easy. Partridge never did also find out who this anonymous person was in the false story. And as a little kind of weird tidbit, they went on to say that 7 years later, this weird prediction of Partridge passing from a fever actually came true.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, spooky. Kind of odd. But yeah, I wouldn't really say that's an April Fool's joke. That's just a really cruel thing to say.
Yep, and I know who did it.
Shame this Partridge guy didn't.
It was his wife.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Went by the name Jonathan Swift.
Yeah, well, it's perfect pseudonym. Change the names, not even going to realise who it was.
Yeah, true.
She was like, "Look, Johnny boy, on your way home today, right? Pick up 7 sides of beef, yeah? All these kids, they're hungry, mate. Pick it up." He's like, "Yep, darling, don't worry about it. I got it." And then he turned up home 5 hours late, pissed on mead, right? She was like, "Where's the beef?" And he was like, "Oh, mate, fucking forgot it," right? So she did this, set up this little prank, and then every single time over the next 7 years of his life, when he was like, "No, I'm not dead," she was like, "Oh, there, darling. Don't worry. The news will spread one day, you fucking prick."
Yeah. Unfortunately, it also spread that he was a raging alcoholic.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Maybe it wasn't of a fever. And another one is from 2016, so a leap in time now, where Google, as an April Fool's prank, added a mic drop button to its email program. Now, I didn't know about this. Have you heard about this?
I've never heard about this. And to be honest, after the bonus episode, if you ever ask me anything like that again, I am just going to completely feign ignorance, mate, because you got me with that coleslaw joke.
Yeah, have you ever heard of coleslaw? It rings a bell, Jordan.
Never heard of it. Nope, Jordan, tell me what it is. Not falling for that again.
Love it. So Google initiated this mic drop button. When it was clicked, it sent a gift to the recipients of the outgoing email, and the kicker being, it literally disabled their replies. So in effect, it shut down the conversation as like a mic drop does.
Right, I see what you mean, yeah.
So, okay, fair enough. But the problem was that this mic drop button was right next to the send button, leading to a number of unfortunate and later horrified people to mic drop their bosses, their clients, their spouses, their children, their family, and all their friends. And although Google did go on to disable the button, they say the damage was done. I mean, it may sound like just harmless fun, but it did lead to one individual to reportedly be fired from their job, thanks to Google's jesting. So, yeah, not really great.
That's not fair.
I suppose, but I mean, it kind of was their fault. They did it.
Yeah, but I mean, what would you do, right, in that situation? Like, you were the boss, and you emailed someone saying,
"Meetings at 9 p.m. today, Dave. See you there."
And then sent you it, and then you replied to them saying,
"Oh, what notes did I need to bring for it?"
mic drop, right? So the boss couldn't reply. Would you fire them, or would you just go, "That's a bit weird, I'll call them," or "I'll try an alternate email," or something like that, and I'm just like, "That bastard, you're fired, mate."
Yeah, maybe they were remote working. You know, like maybe they're on the other side of the world.
Give them a call. Call the office. call the office they're working in abroad. Do something else.
Yeah, no,
Don't
just 2 a.m. over at that point for them.
Telephones don't have to, on a time schedule. You know, I'll call them in the morning. You know, you just fucking fire someone over that.
I don't know the ins and outs, Ian. I didn't do the fire, and it wasn't my business, and I never heard of Google's mic drop. You got it? Okay, fine, moving on.
I'm livid, Jordan.
Was this about you, by any chance?
Maybe.
Have you got some pent-up resentment going on for Google?
Got some fucking beef, pal.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard of mic drop. Tell me about it, Jordan, and tell me about coleslaw.
Yeah, I was really hoping you weren't going to tell my story.
So another one is from 1980, where it sees a Boston TV news producer named Homer Silly, ironically, great name, where he orchestrated a fake television broadcast about a hill in Massachusetts, which was supposedly erupting with lava and flames.
Okay.
Now, he even included fake warnings from the then President Jimmy Carter and real footage from Mount St. Helens with the eruptions that implied that it was the Massachusetts volcano. Of course, it wasn't. And although it did say April Fools on a card next to the segment, panicked viewers flooded the law enforcement with calls. Silly was swiftly dismissed from his position.
It's a tongue twister.
A little bit. What was deemed a lapse in judgment and a breach of FCC regulations. What a fucking div.
No, I do not blame him for that at all. He's just getting into the spirit of the holiday. It's the fucking people that didn't look at the TV screen as they heard this, or think to themselves, maybe this isn't actually happening, I'll have a look out the window, or check any other news source.
Did they also then do a mic drop?
Yeah, that was the reason why.
It's like, I couldn't reply, I couldn't say it wasn't true. I was thinking as well, like, what a div, that'll teach him. And then, just on a weird tangent,
oh God,
when I thought the words that'll teach him, it really pisses me off. This is a totally separate topic, but it really pisses me off when people say, that'll learn them. Have you heard people saying that?
I have heard that. Again, I think that's more of an Americanism, is it sort of thing
is it?
To say?
Maybe it is.
Whenever I hear that in my head, I always sort of hear it like a, that'll learn them kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Like a sort of, is that like a Texas sort of vibe? I don't know.
I ain't going to single anyone out, mate. They've got guns.
They'll certainly learn you something, won't they?
Do you know what is a really annoying, right? If we're on this subject, do you know what's a really fucking annoying one that pisses me off?
Go on.
Right, in our hometown, this might give it away absolutely where we are, but since I have moved here, I have heard people say, like, say two people are playing a game, and then one loses and says to the winner, "Oh, you won me." It's like, "Oh, let's play this game. I'll win you."
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're not going to fucking win them. They're not a prize. You're going to beat them.
Yeah, you're right. I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up. I've said that before as a kid.
Oh, Jordan.
Hey, I didn't know any better.
Oh, Jordan. Oh, Jordan. You've let me down, pal.
Sorry.
I can't continue.
You won me, though, didn't you?
Infuriates me. My wife still says it to my children, like, if they're playing games, like, oh, let's play it on the tablet, I'll win you. I'm like, no!
Oh, no.
No matter how many times I grab her by the ears and shake her head, she just don't get the picture.
You're going to say spin around like she was in Matilda. Fling her across the playground. And I haven't seen her since. April Fools.
I'm not actually married.
Anymore. Oh, I love it. And another one. In 2001, a DJ in England pulled an April Fool's prank by claiming that a ship looking just like the Titanic was visible from the cliffs of Beachy Head in East Sussex.
I've heard this one.
Have you? Okay. Do you know what happened?
No, I'm not. Again, I'm not falling into that trap, Jordan.
Have you heard of the Titanic, Iain?
No, Jordan, tell me what that is.
So, this led to hundreds of listeners to flock to the cliffs, as you would expect, however, inadvertently causing a significant crack in the cliff face.
No way.
And several days later, the portion of the cliff collapsed into the sea.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think anyone was harmed, to be honest, so you could maybe say it was harmless fun, but can you really? I'm not sure.
No, I wouldn't have said so. I mean, that's a whole bit of cliff gone then for an unnecessary prank.
I guess so.
Idiot.
But was that cliff really doing anything?
Yeah, it goes down to local charities and stuff and helps out on weekends.
Okay. Maybe it just wanted out.
Maybe.
Just waiting for this Titanic prank for so long.
Sweet freedom.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love it. Another one. In 2002, Kansas City DJs alarmed residents by announcing that the local water supply contained dangerous levels of dihydrogen monoxide, or DHMO.
Okay.
Citing side effects like sweating and urination. So, panicked callers flooded both the water departments and police lines in, of course, a bit of a frenzy, completely unaware that DHMO is actually H2O.
Yeah.
It is the chemical name for water. And the DJs were faced with, of course, some heavy criticism, with one official going as far as accusing them of fucking terrorism.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's harsh.
I don't think I'd have gone that far.
Yeah, I don't think anything happened. I think there was the potential for prosecution, but, I mean, no one was actually harmed.
Of course, yeah, they're just drinking what was already in there all the time. They didn't add anything to it that was harmless and then say that that's in it.
Do you reckon the excess drinking made them do a lot of urination, and also the news made them sweat a lot?
Possibly, yeah.
They were like, it's fucking contaminated.
Do you think his punishment was well deserved in that situation, Jordan?
What, the beheading?
I didn't get that far.
No, that didn't happen.
I only read up to the slap on the wrist.
No, I'm kidding. No, it was a live hanging.
Fucking hell.
No, that's not true. Nothing happened. I've got one last one within this that I kind of want to share with you because it's a genius, I think a genius fast food advertisement.
Okay.
And it turns out, right, that even your favourite fast food chains have a history of pranks. And I wasn't aware of this, but the 1st of April, 1998, Burger King announced it would now offer a version of the Whopper burger that had been carefully redesigned for left-handed customers.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I likened it to, it was like that old joke, if you have, I don't know, like a younger person helping you with some DIY, and you ask them, oh, could you please just go and hand me that left-handed screwdriver?
Yeah.
No, not that one, the left-handed one. and obviously, there's fucking zero difference.
Of course.
And, of course, the joke was, in the end, on Burger King, however, because stores across the country were flooded with orders of left-handed Whoppers.
Just give him a Whopper.
Exactly. I think it's genius.
Yeah, absolutely. All you need to do is make a box that has an L on it and just give him a normal Whopper.
I mean, you don't even have to do that. You could just Sharpie an L on it, couldn't you?
I don't think that would do so well for people who get it. They'll be like, why is there an L written on the top of it? Like, why is there not a graphic like the rest of the box? Why is it not pristine?
Oh, maybe the employees just bite out an L into it.
Nibble out the middle.
No, they'll carve the edges and leave them with an L.
Fair enough.
That would be delicious.
Yeah.
And can I just say as well, I'll give you one final bonus thing. And this was before I settled on the idea of backfired April Fool's pranks.
Oh, right.
Before that, I'd looked up a few just normal April Fool's pranks that happened to people.
Yeah.
And I just want to share a couple of them that I loved.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Please.
There's just two of them, but I loved them enough to do so. One was from Reddit, which says, "My mum made us pack lunches for my dad and my brother to take to school, and in brackets, Dad was a teacher at school. On April Fool's Day, she cut out squares of waxed paper just a little bit smaller than the bread and put it in the sandwich along with the egg mayo to trick us."
Oh, what? How was that tricking you?
I don't know, but anyway, long story short was that Dad thought it was a very good prank and told her when he got home. The brother, however, ate his whole sandwich and never noticed.
That's not a prank.
I was thinking, can you imagine, like, how was your packed lunch, son? It was all right. It was a bit tough today, Mum.
A bit waxy in the middle, but it was all right. Real crunchy egg mayo, delicious.
Oh, God. You hate egg mayo at the best of times, don't you?
Me, no, I love a good egg mayo.
Oh, do you? Just not with the wax paper?
No, take out the wax paper. That's not how I eat it.
Would you eat it with, wax paper as the bread?
Oh.
So egg mayo between two slices of wax paper?
No, and simply because I can imagine that every time I bite into it, it would come out the sides and go all over my hands.
That's true, yeah. How the hell did this little brother end up biting through it enough? Like, he must have been tearing at it.
It's just ravenous. So hungry.
Maybe it just went all in one, I don't know.
Or possibly, yeah.
It might be. It's been a long week.
Maybe he took the wax paper out the middle. I was like, ooh, a little extra. I'll save that for after, and just ate them on their own.
Yeah, maybe it became a thing and he just ended up enjoying that forever.
Or maybe he was just trying to, like, when someone does a prank to you and then you just act like it's fine and you actually enjoyed it to make them not get the satisfaction from it. Like, maybe he found the wax paper, took it out, and it was just like, yeah, they were delicious. Why? Didn't really get what I wanted out of that.
Yeah, that's true. And in the end, put it in Mum's sandwich for the next day. Although it wouldn't have been April Fool's.
Or just shove it in her mouth while she sleeps.
Yeah. Where do you draw the line between April Fools and murder?
I think it goes from April 1st, April Fools, to April 2nd, Vendetta.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. That seems about right. And now finally, my favourite from this list, and partly because it is harmless, but it's so incessant, shall we say.
Okay.
And this is from Reddit, and it reads, "I was at a local pub that had a jukebox. You couldn't play the same song twice, but I found out that they had Nickelback's song titled Photograph.
Right.
They had both the studio version as well as the live recorded version."
Oh my God. No, please don't say what you think you're going to say.
Yeah. I put in $20 and queued up those two songs alternating between the studio and live performance for as many times as I could. Then I left the bar.
Yeah.
If I were to estimate, I made these people listen to that song for at least 45 minutes. Nothing like pranking an entire pub, is there?
Would that be the kind of song, though, that you just kind of zone out and then, like, you come back to, like, half an hour later, you're like, God, this song's really long today, innit?
Sometimes there's crowd cheering, sometimes there isn't. It's weird.
It's weird, yeah.
They're really tame on occasion. It's odd. Nickelback have such good crowd control.
Yeah, get him to shut up for 2.5 minutes and then scream for 2.5 minutes is great.
Exactly. I love it. So there you have it. In light of the numerous examples of April Fool's pranks gone awry, I think it becomes maybe a little bit evident that, I don't know, sometimes maybe it's best to refrain from participating in the day at all.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, be a bit more like Iain and I, two boring old farts. Because at least, that way you can admire these jokes from afar from the comfort of your own computer chair.
Exactly.
I think that sounds great.
Or drum stool.
Or squeaky drum stool.
Or squeaky drum stool. Fantastical. Yeah, that's brilliant. And if anyone at home has had any April Fool pranks backfire or had one done to them or just not given the pranker the satisfaction that they wanted
Too right.
out of something that they've done to you, then send it in to twoguyswhatsup@gmail.com because we would love to hear about it.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind us reading it out as well, that would be amazing. I would love that.
Oh, yeah. Smashing. Well, that was brilliant. Thanks very much, Jordan.
You're very welcome. It felt really weird going first.
Yeah? Well, you know what they say. I mean, I don't know how we overlooked it for this long, but first the worst, second the best, so I think it was only right that we swap around.
Yeah, I mean, luckily that's not often true because, I mean, this is the April Fool's bit, isn't it?
Yeah. First the Jordan, second the idiot.
Oh, love it. So, Iain, I think I'm ready to hear about some of the origins of April Fools.
That is the one, Jordan. Okie dokie. So, there are a couple of places that people think this day might have originated from. One theory traces it back to France in the 16th century when the Gregorian calendar was newly adopted, which moved New Year's Day from April to January 1st, meaning those who continued to celebrate the old New Year's Day in April were called April Fools, and it became the subject of pranks and ridicule.
Yeah, now I didn't know about this because in researching my own bit, I was almost going to add a little bit of a first paragraph of the origin.
Glad you didn't.
And then I realised that's what you were doing, and I removed it. But in researching it, what you were describing was from the 1500s. Mm-hmm. And, of course, a bit like before, it was back in an era where communication was obviously just slow or almost non-existent, and I think it was easy for many to kind of remain unaware of the calendar change, and so then they became the target of pranks, a little bit like what you said. And I read up that apparently it included the placement of paper fish on their backs. Had you read about this?
I didn't come across that. Remember, I wrote this segment in 10 minutes.
Fair enough.
Through weary eyes.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that. You were up at 7 a.m. the next morning, so...
I was indeed.
Well, this morning, shall we say.
Woe is me.
And anyway, about this paper fish on people's backs, that was a nod to their supposed gull ability.
Oh.
Yeah, and I didn't know that.
Because seagulls eat fish. I get it. Clever.
And of course, also not surprisingly, the term gullible is often associated with those that are easily fooled. But also, what many people don't realise is that that word isn't even actually found in the dictionary.
Nice try, Jordan.
Thought it might have been another Cole's Law.
No, not today.
Damn.
I've kicked the monster, right? So my brain is finally back on track. I can think for myself, and I'm not going to fall for that.
I just hope there are, the odd person out there who's like, oh, weird.
Tell you what, I'll give it a little pause after you say that so that my response doesn't come as quick, so people will have chance to pause the podcast and get out their dictionary.
Love it.
So another theory suggests that April Fool's Day has roots in ancient Roman and Celtic traditions, where festivals celebrating the arrival of spring involved playful and mischievous behaviour. Over time, these traditions would have evolved into the modern-day custom that we know and celebrate today, playing pranks on each other on April 1st.
Okay.
But there is another story out there, John, at least reported by this one website that I found when I googled it dead quick. And that says very differently.
Were they April fooling you, though?
Well, I read it in March, so...
Okay, they just released it a bit early.
To be honest, I didn't actually look at the publication date of the article, so...
Imagine it is.
I'm not even going to go back to it, because I don't want to know now.
Brilliant.
I was going to read the story and I've done with it, because it's interesting nonetheless.
Okay.
This story says that April 1st is a whole cosmic circus of supernatural goings-ons. Going-ons? Who cares? And at the heart of it all is the one and only April Fool himself. He's a master of trickery, sporting an outfit similar to that of a clown, and his mission is to humble the overly righteous and knock those with a bit too much ego down a peg or two. The legend says that April Fool's Day sprang forth from the mischievous mind of none other than Loki, god of trickery, planting the seeds of foolishness in humanity's collective consciousness, way back when, all to create a day where hilarity reigns supreme and embarrassment runs rampant, all in the name of making his name and this day a holiday to celebrate.
Okay, sounds like a great guy.
What, Loki?
Yeah.
Well, I've only ever seen him in the Marvel incarnation, and he seems great on there.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, quite the
hunk, yeah?
the jester.
Oh.
Yeah, that too.
So where does this fool come from? It was said that Loki handpicked the first ever April Fool, but after that, a new one is picked every 7 years. Picture a human with an insatiable appetite for laughter, pranks, and a healthy dose of absurdity. He does his stint, and then once his term is up, they return to regular human life after choosing someone to take their place. But this newly reformed human is left with a little residual prankster power. And what kind of powers, Ian? Superpowers! The April Fool isn't just your average clown. He's got super strength, enhanced speed and agility, all not too far removed from that of a demigod.
Like me.
But far from benevolent, this fool also sports psychic abilities, being able to read minds and hypnotise unsuspecting victims.
A little bit. And can I just say, I felt really, really hurt by a little huh then.
From that of a demigod, like me.
Mate,
No acknowledgement, just yeah.
I'm trying to power through, mate, because we're like 8 hours in already, and this has got to be edited
We are.
soon.
It's no longer April Fool's, is it?
It's not. No, this is Vendetta Day, and I'm coming for you, Jordan. The April Fool isn't even bound by the constraints of time either. He can pop up straight in front of your face using his teleportation, and unfortunately, the fucker never stops. He never takes a break, never sleeps, no snacks, no showers, just non-stop stinky pranking action for the whole of the 7 years.
That definitely does sound like me.
Mate, you sleep loads.
Yeah, I don't shower though.
Snacking? What?
I definitely do that, to be fair.
Have you had any... did you ever try your deep fried egg? What's it called? Easter...
Cream egg?
Cream egg, that's the guy.
Easter cream egg? No, I didn't, in the end.
Shit.
I definitely would, though.
Fucking do it, mate. Film it.
Okay.
Put it on TikTok.
See, I hate the idea of...
Eating on camera.
I hate the idea of using a fryer, because I remember once watching a film when I was a kid, and like it was on in the background, and I shouldn't have been paying attention to it, but it was this crime thing where this guy, like a mob, forced this guy who worked in a fish and chip shop, and he put his hand in the batter and then forced it into the fryer, and it like scarred me for life.
Isn't that Goodfellas?
I don't know. I mean, I like the pizza. I don't think much of the battered hand.
Yeah, I always give that a miss if it's on the menu. Hey, the battered hand's going on for cheap, mate. Do you want to get one of them? No.
I'll try the cream egg instead.
Just a pizza, mate. Mate, that's like gone up 8 times in the sale. They're really trying to sell off these battered hands.
Oh, yeah.
Should we just get a couple of them? Finger food? No?
Oh, God. Yeah, literally. Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, I think we should try one together. I mean, I will even take the plunge and try one with you.
Oh, do you do it as well?
Yeah, I'd do it, mate. Yeah. And,
Bite the same one?
yeah, mate. Lady in the Tramp style. You get one and I'll get the other.
We'll just get the goo from the middle.
Yeah. We'll just stop recording halfway through. To continue this video, please go over to 2guyswhatsup.com/Pornhub. Continuing over there. Sounds good.
I mean, they call it a cheese pull, but in this case...
Egg pull?
Oh, God. Cream pull. Hey, there you go.
Delicious. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, man, we'll do that on the old TikTok if you want, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So if you're sat at home right now and you're feeling that you might be in danger of this bastarding clown, there is a way to fend off his pranking antics. Find yourself some harlequin flower. Simply plant it, wear it, bathe in it if you have to, and this should keep the little shit at bay. That's it. That's the end of that sentence. Anything you want to add? Moving on then.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So, brace yourself for the fun and games of April 1st, and remember, it's all good fun, and the legend closes by saying that if you play along, having a laugh at your own expense, you might just snag some good luck for the month. But if you show your pride and lose your cool, you can expect a string of unfortunate events.
Okay, that sounds sinister.
I think it's wherever this story... tale, legend, I don't know, made up thing came from, is trying to say, don't take yourself too seriously. Have a little laugh at yourself once in a while, Don't be a riled up bastard. Take the stick out your fucking ass.
And perform the dirty Sanchez.
If you want, if you're into that, mate, I'm just saying, just have a little laugh at yourself. Enjoy the brighter side of life.
Absolutely. I think that's the thing that anybody has to take on board, isn't it? I mean, life is hard and life is tough and life can be, I don't know, it can really wear you down.
Oh, yeah.
So you do have to, I don't know, just make the best that you can. And often that is just friends and just having a laugh.
That's just turned really wholesome, pal.
It really has, hasn't it?
It's kind of turned me off. I don't want to do the egg thing anymore. Oh, wait, it's back. We have life, don't worry.
Hey, love it.
So yeah, that is it. The questionable origins of the April Fool.
Interesting, yeah. As I say, I did a little bit of research on the origins myself, but I quickly went away from that because I thought I couldn't make my own segment work through that.
Yeah.
And
you're like, well, Ian's got a 5-minute segment about this coming up tomorrow, so I don't want to take the wind out of his sails.
So my research didn't go particularly far, so I haven't heard most of that. That's quite interesting, though.
Yeah.
I do wonder, truthfully, where it did come from, because, I mean, it feels like these are potential thoughts that no one is really sure about.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it must have started somewhere.
Well, I mean, April Fool's is one of those ones, it just, to me, I mean, I don't know if it, like we've been saying throughout the whole thing, I don't know if it has any actual roots in anything, like any kind of religious or cultural standing or anything like that. And it just felt like a non-day. It's like, oh, it's April Fool's Day. And apparently it only lasts till 12. So if you do anything after that, then you're the fool.
Yes.
So, it's like 12 hours. If you get up at 8, that's 3 hours of fooling you can do. 4 hours. Fucking hell, check me out. Well, I was saying a while ago that I'm amazing at maths.
It depends, though. What time zone do you work off?
That's true. I guess I'd have to go off the one I'm in, probably. As I normally do. I can't just turn up to work like 5 hours later and be like, well, it's 4 o'clock in Japan, you bastard.
You didn't specify.
You didn't specify a time zone, you dickhead. You're fired.
So here's a question for you. Right, let's say you have a friend on the other side of the world, like say Japan, and it's April Fool's Day. How do you define when it's applicable to give them April Fools? Do you have to make sure that you fool them by noon their time?
Okay, we're getting into some serious logistics here, right? But what I would say, using all of my brain power, is...
Careful.
Overloading.
Sizzling.
If I did something to prank them, then I guess it would have to be done in my time zone.
Interesting, okay. So...
Because I am the pranker.
Just watch how you're pronouncing that. And, okay, that's interesting. So it means that the prankee...
Can receive it any time.
Doesn't really know. Because, it's obviously past noon at that point for them.
Well, other than electronically, how would you prank someone on the other side of the world?
I don't know.
Within your specific, 3 hour, 4 hour window you've got in the morning. So they'd be able to check a timestamp probably. Because even if you, sent a letter, days in advance so it arrived on the day, you'd still be out of your time zone. So you'd still be the fool.
That is true. I guess you could email them and then mic drop.
Again, there'd be a timestamp.
Yeah. True, yeah.
And because they're so far away, you wouldn't be able to reap the benefits of your prank because they wouldn't be able to reply.
Yeah, that's very true. And then, you'll lose contact because you realise, you never shared numbers.
Yeah. Shit, yeah.
You've never met them before.
Yeah, maybe just don't prank them at all. I think that's the takeaway from that.
Fair enough. Love it.
Just before we go, Jordan, have you ever done an April Fool's joke or had one done to you that you'd like to tell the audience about? Because I have one, and it is so shit. It's worth bringing up, I think.
Truthfully, I was thinking about this, and I really don't think there has been any. I've certainly never done any. At least, anything meaningful that I can remember as being like, that was fucking good.
Yeah.
I might have done a stupid little joke or something, but
right.
Really nothing. And I've not received, at least to my knowledge, any April Fool's pranks. But I'm kind of intrigued to hear what shitty one you had, because it's going to be better than my non-existent one.
Ah, mate. Fucking terrible. I don't know why I remember this. Again, another fantastical example of my shit memory. I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Right.
And I remember waking up, what I felt was like the crack of dawn. It's probably 8 o'clock or something. My parents were already downstairs. So I got up, I think my dad was at work, ran downstairs, and I was like,
Mum.
Burst through the door.
Mum, there is a giant spider on my bed.
And I put my hands together to insinuate a fucking tarantula was crawling up my bed. Obviously I would have shit myself had that happened. Like, there wouldn't have been me getting up out of bed, toddling downstairs and going,
Oh, Mum, by the way.
it'd have been screaming at the top of my lungs, and my mum had been, thought I'd been being murdered or something. So she was like,
No, there's not.
and I was like,
Mum, honestly, it's massive.
and she was like,
Okay, come and show me the spider then.
you know, so then went up to my bedroom, and she was like, you know, pretending to look on the bed, like,
Oh, where is it?
and I was like,
April Fool!
she was like,
Oh, you got me.
and I was like on the floor, doubled over, you know, in hysterics, like fucking punching the floor, like, oh, the fucking best joke ever. And she was like stepped over me. I was like,
Yeah, see you later.
You're out of the will.
oh god, yeah.
Could you imagine, though, it was a real double bluff, and actually there was a massive tarantula, and you just shut the door behind her. Hash it out together. April Fools.
It was actually like 8 foot. Giant one in the corner of the room.
Where is it now? Oh my f***ing God. See you later, Mum.
God.
Good luck with that.
Next time you peek through the keyhole, you see this little, you see your mummified mother in this web.
Yeah, it's like with all the last will and strength she has, she sticks up a middle finger at me, glaring at me with hatred.
I apologise to anyone that has severe arachnophobia, because that probably isn't something you want to imagine, especially if you maybe sleep to this podcast.
Well, I mean, I have arachnophobia. I fucking hate them. But it doesn't bother me. So if I'm on a level where it should be all right, hopefully that dictates the level that everyone else should also be all right with.
It's kind of lucky my wife doesn't listen to this, because she is so bad.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, like, I can't even speak about them around her. She's like, no, don't want to know. Can't hear about it.
Wow.
And, you know, if there's, I don't know, a TikTok that we're, you know, it sounds really sad, but if we're in bed and, you know, like winding down, I'll be laid down on my back and she will cuddle against me. I'll put my arm around her and we'll scroll through my phone on TikTok. And if, say, like a spider thing comes up, she just flinches and she can't look.
To be fair, I mean, I'm like that with aliens.
True.
I mean, at least hers is an actual tangible thing that lives here on Earth that is sensible to be scared of.
I suppose, but just wait until you see the spider aliens.
To be honest, that wouldn't bother me, because they're so far removed from either that they're not either of those things, if that makes sense.
Well, what if they could transform from either one?
I don't know. That's still not the thing. I mean, if an alien came up to me, I'd be terrified. Or if there was a spider crawling next to me, I'd probably be terrified. But if a spider, like a big alien spider, walked in, I'd be like, that's a giant spider. That's weird. Or, you know, if it had an alien's head, I'd be like, yeah, but you're not either of the things themselves, so the amalgamation is just not doing anything for me. Then I'd punch it. Swift punch the big old Y. And I'd go home and have some noodles, probably.
Okay, fair enough. What if, though, you turned around one day and you saw the communion alien?
Cry. Shit myself.
You know,
Start scrolling through my phone trying to find your number.
unfortunately, you hit TikTok and you see all these spiders.
My phone will save me. Ah!
Oh, horrendous. Oh, I think, should we call it today?
I think we probably absolutely should, Jordan. Good idea.
Ba-ba-da-boo.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Two Guys What's Up. Don't forget to follow the show wherever you listen to us so you don't miss another episode, and maybe even tell a friend. Tell your friend not to transform into an alien spider, or you'll April Fool them straight off the Earth and into a separate planetary body known as Loki's Land. You should see my face right now. I'm just thinking to myself, what the f*** did I just say?
If you would like to get in touch with us, our Linktree link is in the bio of this episode, which you can click on and be jetted off to every link you will ever need for all your Two Guys What's Up essentials. Fancy getting your own Two Guys What's Up t-shirt? Click the link!
Want access to 9 whole extra hours of bonus content for just £3? Click the link.
Want to create your own left-handed whopper? Click that link!
And don't forget, we now have Patreon, where you can find all of your Two Guys What's Up extra essentials, including pin badges, shoutouts, t-shirts, and if you really can't get enough of our fantastic tales and just splendiferous voices, you can now get more because we release bonus episodes which come out on the last Friday of every month. Like I said, there are 9 just sitting there waiting for you to just go and have a little old listen to, and that is all available right now, starting with the bonus episodes for just £3 English a month.
So if you want to help support the show and get some cool stuff while you do so, head over to patreon.com/2guyswhatsup to check out all the goodies over there. The link will be down below for your clicking pleasure.
But if you can't do that, but you still like to help us out, then a 5-star rating and review in your podcast app of choice would be the best way to do that for us, and we would be eternally grateful.
Eternally so.
But on that note, thanks for listening. Y'all have an amazing week, and we will see you next Monday. See you later, bye. See you later. One theory traces it back to France in the 16th century when the Gregorian calendar was newly adapted.
You will be?
Don't you start, mate. Look, we're only like 2 sentences in. If I keep fucking up from now on, mate, this is going to be a long episode.
Yeah, sorry. You can do it.
Thank you. I appreciate the cheering.
April Fools.
You bastard!